Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to take a look at my top 5 inks from the 2024 Diamine Inkvent calendar. These are the 5 inks out of all of them that I really like. And one of them I'll even maybe consider getting a full bottle because it actually is one which I really like. So join me now down on the table. We'll take a look at the inks. I've inked up a pen with each of them, so we'll do a little writing sample as well. Welcome down to the table. So my top 5 Inkvent inks from 2024. Not going to fetch in swatch cards or anything like that. We'll just jump into writing samples. So what I've done, I've picked out my top 5 and I've put them into various pens. We'll just do like I would normally do with my top 5 lists today. And I'm going to fetch the inks out in day order. So it's not in order of my favourites, it's in order of the day they came out. So day number 3. The ink is Diamine Noble Fur, which is a Starbright ink. And I popped that into a Kanwrite Heritage with an extra broad or a double broad nib. Now I'm agitating it because obviously it's a Starbright, so we need to agitate it. Hopefully get that Starbright there into some kind of solution. I'm just going to turn this on the side. Makes it a little bit easier when I'm writing. Just got to make sure I keep the whole page though there in the camera. So this Kanwrite Heritage from India. It's a piston filling pen. I know I'm risking it, but I can easily remove the nib and feed, so I can give it a good clean once I'm done. I thought, yeah, let's risk it. Really nice, very light feeling. So what we've got is a Kanwrite Heritage with a double broad nib or extra broad. Price wise, you're looking approximately 42 Aussie dollars. The ink, obviously it's by Diamine and it's Noble Fur. Let's do a wasky swirl grid. Let's fill it in, going up and down, side to side. Up and down again, and cross hatches. What does it dry like? Here's immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. After a minute there, nearly dry. So let's take a look at the ink. How's it dried? Wow. Not sure if the camera will pick this up, but that is absolutely chock-a-block full of that silver Starbright. It's really pretty. The base colour, do you know, I want to say it reminds me a little bit like spearmint or peppermint leaves. It's nice, pretty there. But yeah, wow, just look at that. Hopefully the camera's picked that up. So that was day number 3. The next ink is from day number 4, so the next day. And what I've done is I've put that into the TWSBI Draco. The ink is called Forest Gateau. And I think in terms of colour match, hopefully you'll see in a minute, really nice fit. Piston filling pen. Got a little tiny ink window. One of my whinges about this, yes, you've got the ink window, but inside there, you've got another ink window, so it's hard to see what the ink levels are. It's a nice nib, though. It's a nice broad nib on here. So we've got a TWSBI. Beautiful to write with this pen. Draco. And it's got a broad nib. Price-wise, it ain't cheap. It was $215 when I bought it. The ink is by Diamine and it's Forest Gateau. I always keep wanting to put an X on the end of there. Let's do that wasky squirrel type grid. we go. And across. And how does it dry? Immediate. Get a clean finger. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. We're dry there at 30 seconds. So let's take a look at the ink here. So this is a fairly flat looking ink. It's quite, I want to call it a dark, I'm going to say purple, but it could be like a really dark crimson. I quite like it. It's a scented ink and you do get a hint of cherry as you write it in. I wouldn't say it's a cherry red though, but I can see where the forest Gateau comes from. So I'm guessing this is inspired by the Black Forest Gateau, which, yeah, these are the colours I do think about when I rarely have one. Ink number 3. Well, we jump a few days now, up to day 15, and we've got Diamine Sleigh Ride, which is an extreme sheen ink. I've put that in my Waterman Carene. This has got a medium 18 karat gold nib. Very elegant looking pen. And I think, again, colour-wise, it's actually not a bad match. So we've got here a Waterman Carene. With a medium, and as I said, it's 18 karat gold. Price-wise, it ain't cheap. You're looking at 445 Aussie dollars. Well worth it, though. The ink, Diamine Sleigh Ride. And let's do our grid. And we're going across. And up and down. And diagonals. Drying time, immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. 1 minute. Still smudging a little bit there after a minute. So let's take a closer look at this ink. As you can see, when it was down, it's that really nice, like, dark crimson burgundy type colour, which goes well with the amber marine. But when it catches the light, we've got this absolutely gorgeous bright green sheen to it. Very pretty. I'm going to be honest with you now. This is my favourite ink. Really is. Absolutely love this. This is the one ink this year I may break my no ink rule, and when they come out with the full bottles later in the year, I think I might actually treat myself. It is so nice. So that's ink number 3. Ink number 4 is from day 18, and it's another extreme sheen ink. Now, this top 5 list could have very, very easily been just extreme sheens because I like them all. So I thought to myself, no, I'm going to limit it to only 2. So the second one I've picked and is from day 18, and it's Diamine Vibe, and I've put it into this Delta Dune or Dune. I'm never sure how it's pronounced. Love this. We've got greys, we've got blues. Again, I think it's a really nice match for the ink. So we've got here a Delta Dune, very, very smooth ink. Very ink. I don't know. Very, very smooth nib. It's got a broad nib on it. It is a very nice pen. The price for this is approximately 222 Aussie dollars. The ink, strangely enough, it's a Diamine ink, and it's just called Vibe. And I think it really does have a vibe when you see it. This is one of the problems with doing videos. Over the camera, it's hard to show you the true beauty of a lot of the colours. I do the best I can, but a lot of them, you've got to see them in real life. So this base colour is like a very dark blue to me. And then, there we go. But then when it dries, the sheen on top of it, well, we'll see in a second. Drying times, so we go immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, going to jump to the other side of the grid, 1 minute. That's still fairly wet after a minute. Not going to do a 2-minute test though. Remember, it's the ink we're looking at, so we've got that dark blue, but wow, we've got masses and masses of red sheen. I know I've got a lot of blue inks with red sheen, but this, it's a very darker shade, so it's not like the rest of them. I really like this. I think, especially this extreme sheen, I'm really loving the extreme sheens. They're just so pretty. So the final ink is coming from day number 23, and it's Diamine Pine Needle, which is a chameleon ink. I've put it in this Opus 88 Omar. This is an eyedropper. It's got a broad nib on it. Now, I have had some issues with the feed getting blocked, so let's hope that that's all gone away now. So we've got here an Opus 88 Omar with a broad nib. Price for this, 176 Aussie dollars. The ink, Diamine, and just give it another little irritation or agitation, should I say, Pine Needle. Let's do our grid. So up and down, side to side, and this is the issue I've been getting. There we go, I've got it going again, side to side. What I had to do was shake it a few times quite violently, and then eventually it did start writing again. I don't think it's the pen because I've had other inks in here. I think it's down purely to that ink. So drying times, there's immediate, get a clean finger, yeah, that one's clean, 10 seconds, we're dry there at 10 seconds, so as a combo, very dry. Just gonna lift this up, here's the ink. I love the ink colour. I mean, really, it's such a pretty ink, and where we've got the little bits of the chameleon coming through really adds to it. It's quite nice to look at. I'm just thinking that the problem we've got is actually the ink in the pen rather than with the pen itself. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Going to just write a sentence with each of the pens. I'm not going to move the mic to the page because we're here to look at the inks, not to look at the pens. So we start with the noble fir. Can't get my full sentence on. Oh, there we are. Managed to get most of it down there. Next up, we've got the Draco with the Forest Gateau. Let's start a little bit further over, shall we? Now the Waterman Carene with Sleigh Ride. The Delta Dune with Diamine Vibe. Oh, just about getting that on. Then finally that Opus 88 Omar with Diamine Pine Needle. Let's just make sure we give this a bit of an agitation. There we go. So here we go. Let's just take a very quick look at the sentences. So that top one, that star bright, absolutely drowning out the green of the base colour. We've then got the Forest Gateau, and then below that we've got the Sleigh Ride. Now, as I was writing, I was noticing that the Sleigh Ride base colour seems very similar to the Forest Gateau, but then we've got this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous green on top of it. Let me see if I can get this more central to the camera. Below there we've got Vibe, again beautiful with that extreme sheen really shining through. And finally down at the bottom we've got that Pine Needle, very nice bright green ink. I really like the look of that. I just don't see much of the chameleon coming through, which is a shame. So they're my top 5 inks from the 2024 Diamine Inkvent calendar. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. So what do you think to my selection? What would your top 5 inks be? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart that conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.